The Kansas City Chiefs are in uncharted waters. A dynasty that has defined the NFL over the last half-decade suddenly looks human. 2 games, 2 losses. For most teams, that's just a bad start. But for Kansas City, it's a crisis. The last time the Chiefs opened a season like this was more than a decade ago. Patrick Mahomes was still years away from the NFL. Travis Kelce wasn't yet a superstar. Andy Reid was still trying to build his legacy in Kansas City. Back then, expectations were lower. But now, every year is Super Bowl or bust. Every stumble feels like the end of an empire. So how did we get here, and why is everyone talking about Travis Kelce's engagement instead of just football? It begins in Week 1, Arrowhead Stadium, one of the loudest places in sports. The Chargers came in as underdogs. The Chiefs were supposed to roll, but from the first drive, something felt off. The offense moved the ball but stalled in the red zone. A false start, then a holding penalty. Instead of 7 points, they came away with 3. The Chargers answered with a long, methodical drive. A 3rd and 12 converted on blown coverage led to a touchdown. Suddenly, Kansas City was chasing. Patrick Mahomes was pressured all day. Nearly 40% of his dropbacks ended with him hurried, scrambling, or throwing on the run. Rookie receiver Xavier Worthy, expected to add much-needed speed, collided with Kelce in the second quarter and left with a shoulder injury. Without him, the field shrank. Defenders doubled Kelce, jammed him at the line, and dared the Chiefs to beat them with backups. By the fourth quarter, the game slipped away. Final score, 27-20 Chargers, a divisional loss at home. Week 2 was supposed to be redemption, a Super Bowl rematch against the Eagles, national television, a chance to prove that Week 1 was a fluke, but it wasn't. The same issues surfaced again. The offensive line collapsed against Philadelphia's front. Mahomes was sacked 3 times, hit 8 times, pressured nearly every other throw. The running game was invisible, finishing under 70 total yards. And then came the moment fans couldn't stop talking about. Travis Kelce dropped a 3rd down pass. Not just any drop, a critical play in the second half that killed momentum. For a player who built his reputation on clutch catches, it was shocking. The Eagles controlled the game. They dictated the tempo. They won 24-16. And just like that, the Chiefs were 0-2 for the first time since 2014. Now the questions began. Not just about the offensive line, not just about the thin receiving corps, but about Travis Kelce himself. Because while the Chiefs were struggling on the field, Travis Kelce's off-field life was dominating headlines. His engagement to Taylor Swift wasn't just a sports story. It was a global media event. Paparazzi photos, red carpet speculation, entertainment shows leading with Travis Kelce instead of quarterbacks. Overnight, he went from one of the best tight ends in football to one of the most recognizable names in the world. Kelce admitted it was overwhelming. He admitted it was exciting. He said he still feels giddy calling Taylor his fiancée. And who wouldn't? But the spotlight that comes with it is unlike anything the NFL has seen. Suddenly, every drop, every mistake, every body language moment became content. When he missed that 3rd down catch against the Eagles, it wasn't just a mistake. It was a headline. So now fans are asking, is Kelce distracted? Let's look at the numbers. Through 2 weeks, Travis Kelce is still leading the team in targets. He's still producing at a high level, but defenses are smothering him. He's being double covered on more than half his routes, a ridiculous number for a tight end. And with no deep threat stretching the field, defenses don't fear anyone else. That means Kelce faces constant pressure, constant contact, constant attention. The truth is that Kelce isn't washed. He isn't suddenly bad. The problem is that Kansas City has no one else stepping up. Rashee Rice is suspended. Xavier Worthy is injured. Hollywood Brown hasn't clicked. Defenses can focus everything on Kelce, and the Chiefs don't have answers. Still, perception matters. And the perception is that the engagement, the celebrity spotlight, the paparazzi, the nonstop attention, all of it is weighing on him. Maybe it's not true, maybe it's overblown, but when a team loses, narratives grow teeth. This is where the Taylor Swift effect comes in. She isn't just a celebrity, she's one of the most famous people alive. Her fan base dwarfs the NFL's global reach. Every time she shows up at a game, the cameras find her. Every time she posts, it goes viral. That spotlight now shines directly on Kelce and the Chiefs. It brings money, attention, and new fans. But it also brings noise, and noise is dangerous in a locker room. Dynasties are fragile. We've seen this before. The Patriots started 3-4 in 2002. Analysts called Tom Brady a one-year wonder. They went on to win the Super Bowl the next season. The early 90s Cowboys stumbled before winning 3 titles. Even the Steelers of the 70s had seasons where the dynasty looked vulnerable. This doesn't mean Kansas City is finished, but every dynasty faces a moment where they look human, where the cracks show, where people wonder if the end is near. This is Kansas City's moment. Inside the locker room, the pressure is real. Kelce has always been the emotional leader, the spark, the player who kept things fun but serious when needed. Now, with all eyes on his personal life, it changes the dynamic. Teammates see the headlines. Coaches hear the questions. And whether it's fair or not, the engagement becomes part of the story. So what happens next? The Chiefs need reinforcements. They need Rashee Rice back. They need Xavier Worthy's speed. They need Hollywood Brown to play like a true #1 receiver. They need the offensive line to gel. And they need Travis Kelce to be the version of himself that terrifies defenses. Sharp, focused, reliable. Because when Kelce plays like Kelce, this offense hums. When he doesn't, it sputters. And while all this is happening, the AFC isn't waiting. The Bills are hungry. The Bengals are dangerous. The Ravens are rising. Even the Chargers smell opportunity. For the first time in years, the Chiefs don't look invincible, and their rivals know it. So the question remains, is this just a slow start, or is it the beginning of the end of a dynasty? Is Travis Kelce truly distracted? Or is it simply an easy narrative while Kansas City deals with real football problems? Only time will tell. But what's certain is this: the NFL is watching. Every fan, every analyst, every rival is paying attention to every move Kansas City makes. The Chiefs are used to being hunted, but now they look vulnerable. And that vulnerability is what makes this season fascinating. So what do you think? Is Travis Kelce's engagement really hurting the Chiefs, or is it just noise? More importantly, what record will Kansas City finish with this year? Will they bounce back to 12 wins, or will this be the season they slip? Drop your predictions in the comments. We'll feature some of the best responses in our next video. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. The season is long. The story of the Kansas City Chiefs is far from finished, and we'll be here every step of the way.